Hey, welcome back to Coffee at FCG. We are glad that you're here, and we're glad to get this episode going. You know, we've actually been here for like hours now, and we have planned to start
I had
this.
to reheat my coffee.
Yeah, we planned to start this some
9
time
a.m.
ago, and it's much later in the day now, and you know, it's okay because we cracked it. We got something good for you guys. We cracked the code.
We're brewing it up.
We've been brewing it up. Speaking of brewing it up, special shout out this week to some good friends of ours who brought us some coffee. You know who you are. You're listening. You know who you are. Some great coffee. It's called 7 Weeks Coffee. I believe it's local, right?
I don't know.
It's called the Hope Blend. Let's see, maybe not local.
It's very good.
But either way, it is super good. So if you have a chance to check them out,
Tell them about it.
they are at 7weekscoffee.com. And the whole story behind their brand is to promote pro-life, which is awesome. And I believe the name 7 Weeks is even, at 7 weeks of development, a baby is the size of a coffee bean. So awesome. We love that. They donate 10% of every sale to pregnancy care centers. So check them out. They're really good. This is the Hope Blend. It is smooth. It is sweet. It is very good. So thank you for bringing us that coffee. And maybe one day we'll have a sponsor.
Yeah.
You know, maybe one day
maybe.
we could team up with this coffee brand.
Well, did you say that we're all trying this coffee for the first time?
Yeah, we all are
Yeah,
drinking
so
it.
that we don't even have to go through
It's
it.
true.
Yeah,
Nope.
because it's very good.
Yeah, we're all drinking it currently.
We're
It's
all
very,
drinking the same thing today.
very good. And if it was not good, I would just not say anything. I would be like, nice.
It is strong too.
It is,
Y'all
yeah.
think it's strong?
I like it.
Yeah, I
like
don't
it.
like coffee that tastes like water.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
So it's
Very good. So thank you for that.
It's a nice blend.
This week, like
We're not
I
getting
mentioned,
distracted.
we were super distracted this morning, and it led to our topic for today, which is all about dealing with distractions. And we've got all sorts of things that we're going to talk about with that. But yeah, it's a very common thing that we all deal with every moment of every day. We're constantly trying there's something that's trying to get our attention off of either what we're supposed to be doing or whatever. So we wanted to talk all about that, and I'm going to pass it over to BJ because he has a great segue to get this thing going.
I do. About a year, maybe and a half ago.
It was at the beginning of this year.
What was?
The segue.
The
The
segue.
cure.
Wait, what are you thinking about? Because
I was thinking about you were going to bring up what our friend Josh said. It
I
was at a
was.
conference.
Right.
This year.
Nope.
Last year.
Yes.
Okay. I got distracted.
been a year and a half.
At some time
You know,
ago.
I'm sorry.
Somewhere between now and a year and a half ago, we were leading worship with our good friends, Ashley and Carly Teradez, at their conference called The Cure. And their son, Josh, who is a good friend of ours, we've known since he was a wee lad with kind of a British accent. And now he's a grown man about to get married without a
Yes.
British accent. He's
Did he
grown
used to
up.
have a little
Oh, yeah,
accent?
it was very
oh, that's
cute.
actually so
With
funny.
the
He had
little
a-
curls.
he did.
Oh God, he was
him and Zach both had little
He played football.
little British accents that they don't have anymore as
A little
adult
soccer
men.
boy.
Well, that's funny. I didn't know you grew out of that.
I guess they did. You know, they were in England for
Zach still has a couple of words he says.
yeah.
Shout out to you, Zach.
I know you're listening. Josh was kind of MC of the conference that year, and I'm giving him a shout out because this was a really cool thing that he brought up. He was talking about there was a question and answer panel, and Josh was the MC. On the panel were his mom and dad and Andrew Womack. And I love that Josh took it upon himself to answer one of the questions with those awesome folks on the panel. And turns out he had a really great response that Andrew Womack actually followed up and told Josh, hey, that's going to be in my living commentary. I'm going to put it in the commentary. And Josh and I had a fun little moment where we celebrated that Josh made the commentary.
That's
but
my new goal.
I know. That's mine
That's a
too
good
now.
one.
I want to say something to Andrew that he wants to put in living commentary eventually. Well, Josh brought this up that the question was about distraction, which is also the question we're going to be talking about on this episode, maybe a couple episodes, who knows, about how do we eliminate distraction in our life. Josh brought this up. He said he'd been studying about this word distraction, and the word comes from a Latin verb, distrahere. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that's how it's spelled phonically. And it means to pull apart or to dismember. The idea is, you might have seen it in old movies like in the end of Braveheart, where a punishment for somebody could be dismemberment, where it's pretty brutal to think about, but what they would do was they would rip your arms and legs off. That was the punishment. And
Ouchie.
You'd be
You know how?
dismembered.
Wow.
I know different ways they
Stretch
do it, but how are you thinking?
I saw one time that they like hooked you up to different horses.
Oh
Yeah,
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 the
that was
horses
one way.
run separate.
Ew.
They eventually built machines that did it. Like at the end of Braveheart, they have him tied up to a
I
machine
don't
where
need to see that.
it stretches and then rips apart eventually. But dismemberment, like there's a part of your body that's removed. And that is what the word distraction comes from. Those parts of your body, your arms, your legs, are distracted from your body. They're dismembered from your body. It's the same word. And then Josh brought it home to the spiritual point. When the enemy is trying to distract you, what he's trying to do is dismember you, pull you apart from the call of God on your life. He's trying to remove you, dismember you from the church that the Lord's put you in. He's trying to remove you, dismember you from the people the Lord's put you around. Or maybe he's simply trying to distract you, even in, this has come up earlier, in some of our day-to-day things. He's trying to make you forget the purpose behind it or whatever. He's trying to distract at all times. Distract from your purpose. Distract from who you are in Christ. Distract from this or that. What's the solution? Well, that's what we're all going to talk about. We'll start off with what Josh brought up with the solution to dismemberment is rememberment. To
Is that a word?
Well, remember is a word.
Okay.
Dismember and then to remember would be the cure.
Yeah.
So as a believer,
That's right.
when the enemy is distracting, when he's trying to remove us from the call of God, from the purpose, from his plans that the Lord has for us, from remembering who we are, the cure for this is to remember. Remember our purpose. Remember who we are in Christ. Remember what the Lord has done. Remember the things that he said. That is the cure or the fix for distraction, for dismemberment. That was a great message. So shout out to Josh. It's going to come up a little bit, probably in a series that we're doing here pretty soon, off and on. But most importantly, all four of us in here, like Will said, like everybody in the world, has to deal with distraction. Will and Brittany are in the stage of life with young kids that take up a whole lot of our time and mind space, and
A lot of everybody's time.
Right, right. Lisa and I are a little bit further down the road when it comes to family stuff. Our kids are older, almost 20 and almost 17, and they still take up a lot of time. Mm-hmm. It is a bit of a different type of distraction, though, than a 2-year-old and a 4 or 5-year-old running around a house.
I mean, they're not trying to wallow on top of you when you're just.
Oh man,
Actually,
I kind of wish they were.
Yeah. Judah comes to me and he doesn't punch me, but he kind of just punches in the air around my head. So I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, that counts.
Okay.
It's a sign of affection.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll see where this goes from here. We kind of started a discussion before we pushed record,
Pre-show.
where the four of us were kind of going back and forth, and a lot of our thoughts didn't quite go exactly towards remembering. Oh, I just remember who I am in Christ, and all of a sudden, all the distractions.
Well, Brittany,
leave.
say what you said.
So I want to. This will be our launching point to where.
Yeah.
Shout out to Josh.
Yeah.
Great spiritual point. The cure for distraction, the cure for dismemberment is remembering who we are. But let's jump on there.
Yeah.
So how do we practical spiritual ways
Okay.
to eliminate distractions? Is it as simple as remembering? Is that a part of it? What is it? What do we do, each one of us here?
Well, I was just going to say that fun fact about us, if you didn't know, that we just make up whatever word we want to. And
Yeah.
then we, that, so when you said remembrant, I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Rememberment.
It's close enough.
it's the same as.
Rememberment.
Words have to start somewhere.
Yeah. It's the same as me saying, whatever
Yeah, what did you say?
Thinking out loud or talking.
Yeah,
out loud.
talking out loud.
Is that what you're thinking of, or was
I'm
there a
talking-
word? I thought
talking
that was a
out.
word.
Oh, there's several words.
Yeah.
I say whatever I want to.
I like it's Southern charm, Brittany.
Thank you.
You're right. I like what you
okay.
said though
Yeah.
earlier. You were like, "Well, when I'm in the thick of it,
Yeah,
I'm not remembering
who I am.
when I'm
So,
trying to make dinner."
It's really I'm trying. I do love like what you just said, and I agree with all of it, and I'm not disagreeing at all. I'm just in a different light and different perspective. For me, I do deal with a ton of distractions. Like even when Will brought this topic up, I'm thinking of, from my phone. I mean, y'all know, shout out to my brick. I brick up my phone. So I haven't had it
Explain
brick.
what a brick is.
I think she has a couple of times. So
It was just really funny too because y'all were at my house and BJ's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, you got to explain it. What is a brick? Tell everybody
It's
what
a
the brick
small magnetic square, and I keep it on our refrigerator. Will got it for me because I asked, and you scan it, and you can choose, but I have it basically to lock me out of my phone several times of the day. I still can get like text, and you can lock yourself out of that too, but I'm not to a mental space where I feel that if I miss a text, then my life will fall apart or whatever. So anyways, you can lock yourself out of your phone, and then the issue, and everyone's like, "Oh, you can do it for free on your phone." Yes, but then you just hit, "I want more time."
Yeah.
I did that. Mm-hmm. With a brick, I have to get off of whatever I'm doing, and
You have to go to your.
and go. That just distracted me. And then go, and then go to the refrigerator. And if I happen to not be at home, then I'm just out of luck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a better system. So I love my brick, but I feel like I can be distracted from, of course, with my kids and with, good things. My kids are my priority. Will is my priority. The church is my priority. My friendships, my relationships. But those can also be a distraction. I love, a huge thing for me is, I'm not proud of this to say I'm not a huge reader, but I do, try to read when I get in bed at night. But I have replaced that mentally with podcast, and I feel like I'm always learning. And Will's like, "I don't believe you're listening to stuff that's entertaining." I'm like, "I promise I intentionally listen to, Andrew, I listen to a marriage podcast, listen to a parenting podcast. I have my rotations." I'm not saying that you shouldn't read because of that, but I'm just saying even that can be a distraction. But also just mentally, as soon as I sit down in the morning to read my Bible, I'm one of those people, and I've said it before, that the minute I open my eyes in the morning, I have probably had 150 thoughts already between opening my eyes and then, going to brush my teeth. So, I say all that to say that, so that's the way I'm processing. When you were saying what you were saying, I'm thinking I am just in the thick of all day long trying to keep focused on one thing, truly, and not to be. And I think as women, even as different as Lisa and I are, our brains still very much work the same.
Oh, yeah.
Where we're thinking about because I've never met a woman that doesn't think like that,
Well, we're thinking, okay, all right, this is breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're thinking all of that for our kids, for our animals. We're thinking of the next season. I got to get a jacket for this. I got to
Yes.
make sure
Fall
they
is coming.
they got their school clothes.
Yes.
I got to get the school supplies. I got to
Yeah.
do this. I also need to make an appointment for the dentist or whatever.
Yes. Oh, so-and-so texted me.
yeah.
I got to think about texting me yesterday. I got to write
Yeah.
that.
Oh, I got a birthday party. Got to go
Right.
get a gift.
Oh gosh, I forgot
yeah.
about the, and I even texted someone yesterday.
And dads are like, cool, I'm going to have some coffee.
yeah, and
Nice Hope blend right here.
Obviously, I know you guys think about stuff too. I'm just saying, so when you're saying distraction, I'm thinking naturally. When of course there's a spiritual world to it, where of course I'm thinking when I'm worried, that's just a distraction from the enemy to keep
Right.
me from being in peace with the Lord. So I know that there's both sides of it. I'm just saying, for me, it's always practical because I am trying all day to just keep my focus on the Lord. And so it's just funny because the verse that I've kind of like committed to really meditating on right now is Colossians 3:23, work. It's going to leave me and it's like one sentence. No, it's like,
And
Everything.
work at everything you do. But it says, like, I'm sorry, the verse starts by saying work willingly. And I love that. Like, not just begrudgingly, not, that's a different subject. I won't get on that. But then at everything you do, whether that's washing the dishes or walking the dog or feeding your kids or, going to your actual job or just taking a walk or, literally every single thing you do is unto the Lord. And so all that to say, when you're in the middle of just trying to like get 1,000 things done in the day, for me personally, I am not stopping to be like, who am I in the Lord? Like, how do I
Let me remember my
like,
purpose.
Let me remember I've never, and that's what we were talking about in the pre-show. And I guess we're all going to flesh out a little bit more. That's not how I do it practically. I've never once stopped and just thought, now let me just bring this all back around. But I do start my morning by thinking every single thing I do today is unto the Lord. Like everything I do. So like, I have that on my mind, but that's not how I get myself out of it either. Like,
That's good.
I think I'm more the person that I'm just like, yeah, I gotta stop. Like, that's just my personality, to where if I've been scrolling on TikTok for 10 or 15 minutes and I just think like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I have to put my phone down, right? Like, I don't have a conscious thought of like, well, this isn't unto the Lord. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. Like,
So
good.
as y'all are both talking, I want to make sure I'm clear on something too. So like, because this may end up just being about different ways men and women think. I don't know. So as we're talking, part of what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I actually mean this. Like, tell me that's not actually what I'm saying if it's not what you're saying, either one of you. So you're talking about waking up and already having things on your mind, like fall clothes for the kids, back to school
yeah, I
stuff,
thought about that
Yeah.
this morning.
and
Literally.
food and
Yeah.
meals. So again, if this is not accurate, tell me that's not what I'm saying. Like,
Building this up.
you guys, you ladies are bringing those things up under the umbrella of distractions. And in my life, I'm just like, that's a to-do list. I'm like, it's not really distraction from who I am or what I'm doing. That's just like things I have to do. So like, like again, like tell me, say, hey, that's actually not what I'm saying. But if it isn't, and if it is, it's not. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing. I think I'm just pointing out a difference that like some way, a way, because I do love a to-do list for my own personal life, and sometimes when I have it, my goal, kind of internally, I'm kind of processing like, okay, I don't see it like, okay, I'm distracted with a meal, I'm distracted with prep for the fall season or the kids' school year. I kind of view it almost as like, how can I, well, like you just said, Brittany, like when I do this unto the Lord, I'm bringing the Lord into it. So in my personal walk and like the way I see things is sometimes like when I remember to bring the Lord into things, when I remember to like do these to-do list things as unto the Lord, it's almost like at that point, these things become almost like an act of worship, an act of service. But I have in the past seen this to-do list, and my list becomes very distracting from like what my overall purpose is, or even from like, maybe this is like the thing that actually is the most important thing. I don't know. The to-do list can almost be like a distraction from, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm asking actually
Well,
more than I'm even saying it. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you ladies saying that like, that in a way, and again, I'm not saying one way is better. I'm just getting clarity. Are you saying that even like the to-do list, the things that need to be done can be distractions for y'all? Or are you saying that like, how do I keep my focus in the middle of these things? How do I not let something distract me from allowing my focus to be less of like, get it done, and more like, how do I still do this willingly and under the Lord? You know what I'm saying? What I'm asking is what I'm asking making sense? I mean,
I mean,
think so.
I might answer like,
Yeah, go
Please.
ahead.
this is so Mary and Martha, right? But the distraction for me And I feel like for you too, is the minute you think about it, it's like we pull out our phone, like, I'm
Yeah,
going to do that.
I need to do it.
And it's just like
You're right.
a physical distraction. And so I have gotten better about making it a to-do list. I think for us, it's the mental
good.
load.
Us as in
That's-
you and Lisa, the ladies in the room.
Women.
Women.
Yeah, like running
yeah.
a household.
No, I'm
when
just
you're
saying that-
running the household,
Yeah.
like, because
And some men out there running their household and women are working.
right,
So it's not
we're
not just a woman thing.
yes,
but
I
yeah.
could be wrong. I'm just saying it. I do feel like it's the mental load, not the like task of doing it. Because in the morning, like I said this morning, I woke up. I did think about. I was like, because when I went on a walk this morning, I pulled up my phone. I was like, what degrees is it? It was 64 degrees this morning. Like
That's nice.
the just
Crisp.
can you even like?
So good.
I feel fall coming. Something about fall. I'm thinking about all the the end of the year, and what I wanted to be doing in that moment. I go on my walk and I pray in the spirit, and then I start praying my family. And now I'm thinking about school clothes, and I pulled out my phone to like look at
Start looking
some,
at prices.
back to school clothes
Yep.
for Jolie, and I thought, oh, I'm so behind. Like there's, and so it's more of the like load
That
of it,
makes
not the
sense.
task.
Okay, so
Mental
for clarity's
load.
sake, there's this to-do list, which everybody
Yes.
hopefully has a to-do list.
people
if
have
not,
to-do
you're
lists, right.
maybe dealing with laziness. We'll cover that. We'll cover that one
That's
day.
a distraction too.
But what you're saying is, we started talking about distractions, and you began to talk about the things that have to be done as a mom,
The
as a
natural
wife,
stuff,
as a mother, and what you weren't saying is that this list of to-dos is a distraction. What you were talking about was as you are attacking this to-do list, as you're accomplishing it, what can be distraction, what can be the main distraction in this is the mental load.
Yes.
How am I carrying the mental load of doing these things?
Yes.
So again, clarity's
Well-
sake, it's like mental load, meaning is everything inside of me, every thought I have could be accomplish this, accomplish that, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. How do I carry that mental load, not as a distraction from purpose, a distraction from who I am, how I'm leading my family, how I'm providing for my family. It goes back to what you said, I believe, which is Colossians 3:23.
Yeah.
Which is, okay, I can carry this list of things that need to be done, less of a burden, less of a mental load that weighs me down, and more of I'm doing these things willingly and as unto the Lord. And instead of carrying this load as a distraction of things that's taken away,
Yeah.
what I'm actually carrying here is purpose.
Yeah.
This is part of who I am. This is part of what the Lord has entrusted me with.
Yeah.
It's almost like the viewpoint can either be a distraction or it can be filled with purpose. Is that a good way of saying it?
Even
Maybe
just remembering what's more important in the moment.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what I'm hearing you say too. Like, going back to kids for a second, when we were talking about the kids, it made me think like when we're with the kids, like we do our very best to not be on our phones, not have our phones nearby, because that's the number one way to be distracted now is from your phone. And it could be something good. Somebody could be calling, texting, or you could just be mindlessly scrolling. But there's been times in the past where we were not so good at that. And you have this moment of like looking up from your phone and your daughter is just sitting there like staring at you. Like you just went somewhere totally different and she was playing with her toy and you guys were doing something together. So it's like in this moment right now, even if use the phone as, let's say it was something important, like, yes, that needs to be dealt with. But in this moment right now, this is what's more important. And like Brittany was saying, like, on her walk, like, letting that, it's not a bad thing at all. That's all very important stuff, school clothes, all that. But it's a practical way. It's just like, what is more important in this
It
moment?
took my attention away.
Right.
From,
It was-
like,
From just
what-
getting
Yeah. And it's
fresh air,
Yeah.
the
and
moment
just spending
with the
time
Lord.
with the Lord.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be bad distractions. It doesn't have to be anything like that, but it can just be simple things that that are pulling you away from what you really should be spending your time on, what you really should be doing in that moment. And it could be distracting you from that. So.
Well, and I think that in 2026, we've created something I've been trying to focus on is that we have created a culture that it's like we are available at all times. And I think that's a bit unhealthy, because if you think about back in I even think about just, Abraham, like you talk about this a lot, BJ, about that every night he could look up at the stars and remember, like what the Lord had promised him. And it's like I once heard Andrew Womack talk about this on one of his podcasts, but he said, the Bible says, be still and know that I am God. And so one time I just took it completely serious. And he said, I sat out on my porch for 8 hours and I just sat there.
It was just still.
It was like, and can you imagine just sitting somewhere for 8 hours? I mean, none of us truly.
No way.
Sometimes we can't sit for 15 minutes
Sounds
without pulling our
awesome.
phone out. And,
Do it.
it's like, here's the point I'm trying to make is like, sometimes I think we have to realize we do not have to be doing something,
Yeah.
being productive, like having people, even being is like super available. There's this marriage podcast I listen to, Will and I listen to, and one of the things he says is like, when you're with your spouse, spending time together, you should never have your phone with you. He said, because especially if your kids are safe or in a safe location, because he said, this is hilarious to me, but he was like, he's probably in his 70s. I only listen to marriage podcasts if you've been married a long time. So they've been married 50 years. But he said when he was a teenager, he was like, my house literally caught on fire. And he said, and guess what? I found out about it when I got home. And, I got home, I was a teenager, and was like, wow, my house was on fire. And that, it's just like more of a simple time where you think like, what if someone needs me? Like what, could possibly so important that somebody can't wait an hour, And I'm just trying to say that like sometimes we have to like step out of the mindset of like this morning for me, like I just want to go on a walk and pray in the Spirit and pray for my family and my friends and like, but instead I had to have podcasts going and I have to have my phone out and I have to be like da 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 all the time.
And
That's
we'll probably have to
distracting.
pick this up
Very
on
distracting.
the next episode, but I feel like one thing we're touching on or starting to talk about is like distractions actually open the door to a lot of other things, like a lot of sometimes really bad emotions, like this feeling of like strife and production and like I have to be doing something and I better be making some money today. And I mean, it's all that's not great. It's not bad, but like it kind of takes your attention off of God as your provider. And then you're back on like, I have to do this, da, 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 So it's actually starting a, different type of conversation with the power of distractions and how we handle that. So I think we will pick it up on the next episode with how we deal with distractions.
Let me leave everybody with something here, something funny. You said, got to make some money, got to get some money, got to, I have this on my mind every day, whatever. This is completely off topic, but it is funny. And if we're picking up at the next episode, this will be a funny way to end. My sister just showed me my niece's yearbook from the end of the school year last year. She was going through it to prep for this year. And my niece is 7, or did
She
she
just turned 8. Well, she's about to
She's
turn
about
8.
to turn 8.
Yeah.
So when she was 7 and she finished first grade, I believe, or second grade,
2nd grade.
one of her classmates, a boy, I forgot his name, but he had a cool name. We'll call him Jace. But I don't know if that was his name. But he signed her yearbook, and my sister just showed me this, and all it said was, "Hey, Lily, you're cool. Get some money this summer." Get some money this
Get
summer.
money.
And
Okay.
I thought that kid, whoever that
Cool.
kid is, he's cool.
That's
A
funny.
7-year-old
He's heard
wrote,
his dad talking.
he's
a
going for
7-year-old.
Get paid this summer.
Hey, Lily, you're cool. Get some money this
Get some
summer.
money.
And then he signed it.
Let that be for everyone. Everybody
Get
gets
some money.
Some money.
Well, we'll
hilarious.
pick up next episode on this topic because there's still a lot more to say, I think. But it's all about dealing with distractions and the power of remembering all of it bundled up into one coffee bean,
One batch.
one batch,
One
Yeah,
batch.
one batch.
This one has notes of remembering. It has notes of purpose.
That's what we should start doing.
It has
yeah.
notes of remembering, notes of purpose, and
Yeah.
and a heavy
An
and
aroma.
a heavy aroma of cause.
Yeah.
What's your cause?
With a suggestion.
Actually, that's a great thing to pick up on.
Yeah.
How do we keep our purpose and our cause
Y'all are great at that.
number one in all the things we're doing
Yeah.
without getting distracted by the things, or as Brittany said, the mental load of the things? How do
Yeah.
we keep our cause and our, see, look, this was going somewhere the
Stay
whole time.
tuned.
There we go. There we go.
Part
Well,
2
You're
next
in
week.
for a treat next week. It's going to be real good. All right, we'll sign off on the count of 3, and we'll see you back next week. 1, 2, 3.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us for Coffee at FCG. We are so thankful for you, and we would love to hear from you. So if you want to get in touch with us, send us a message, whatever you want to do, info@fcgastonia.com. If you'd like to give to our church, obviously we're a church, so it's a nonprofit status. You'll get a giving statement at the end of the year. You can go to our website, fcgastonia.com, and hit the giving link right there. It's a great way for you to, it's a great place for you to sow. So we would love to hear from you. Just conversation. Let us know your prayer needs. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. But we are so glad you're with us, and we will hear from you soon. You'll hear from us soon.